Okay, hello guys. So this is the first tutorial that I want to give to you with respect to R. And today, so what I'm going to start is just the installation of R. I'm going to walk you through how that works, and then we get started on, just R in general, and then maybe starting with networks after that. So R, what is R? R is nothing else than a software for the statistical analysis of data. It's also used for programming, for doing other things. Some people use it for simulation. It's really like a very broad programming environment, that is sort of like designed for dealing with data. It comes from statistics. This is where folks developed it, and nowadays it's really popular for a couple of reasons. And the main reason is R is free. Everybody can download it for free. You can work on it, and everybody can also contribute to it. So everybody can write a package, a new program to do certain kinds of analysis and make that available. And that's how this works. So there's a community of folks like me, you yourself, you could write an R package and make that available for others. So what are the alternatives? Well, you might have dealt with SPSS or with Stata before. These are other well-known programs for analyzing data. Both SPSS and Stata are proprietary software, so it's quite expensive actually, and you cannot do you cannot do as many analyses in it as R as well. So they are more like designed towards have a big data sheet and that's it, and then you do something with that data sheet, a bit like in Excel. While R is slightly different because it's not just one big data set you have, but you can have all sorts of data in there, and it's an object-oriented environment. But let's get to that in a second. The first thing, installation. So let's install the bloody thing. So how do you find it? Well, just Google R cron, and you find the link to the R project. And this is the first thing you need to install on your computer if you haven't done so. So click on that, and now you install, you download whatever version you need for your computer, Windows, Mac, or Linux. Just install it, and that's pretty much it. And you have R on your computer. In order to work with R, what a lot of people do, and I will also do that, and I recommend you guys to do that, is to use an environment in which you can use R. A user interface, basically. And the most popular one for this is called RStudio. RStudio, again, is like an open source software that you can use for free, unless if you use it for commercial purposes. So RStudio is like an environment. Google RStudio, you find this link, click on that. Now something happens, and let's see, products, there we go. By now they extended, there's also some other things as well, but what we want is RStudio. There we go, here it is, RStudio, and now you can get RStudio for your desktop. Click here, and you can download RStudio. There we go, and it's one of those clever websites. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so there are pro versions. You don't really need that. That's really just high-end stuff that you don't really need if you want to run it on a server and so on. But even then, you can get a free RStudio for a server. For us, the RStudio desktop is absolutely fine, and never in my whole life I needed anything else. So there you go. Again, you select the version for your operating system, Windows, whatever, Mac, or whatever you have. Just download it and run it, and there you go. Okay, so after you've done that, what you will have on your computer, you will have somewhere RStudio. And if you've done the order in the right way, like first installing R and then RStudio, then RStudio will already know where to find R, and it should be seamless. It should be very straightforward. If you do it the other way around, I wouldn't recommend that. But first installing R and then RStudio really solves that issue. Okay, so somewhere on your computer you then have RStudio. Let me open it. So here it is, RStudio, and now it opens. This is how it looks like, and this is what we'll be dealing with, or where we will do all of our analysis. And what you can see, there are different windows to it. I don't know, there are some top menus up here, but then you have something called the console. The console is really what you send to the CPU to do. It's like an instruction: do this, do that, um, and, and terminals and job. Let's not worry about what's happening here. But then on the other side, here on the right-hand side, you have very useful information. For example, you can get help to certain commands here. You can see which packages you have. You can access certain plots, all stuff we will see later on, files and so on. So by having all of that stuff neatly together, that's the advantage of RStudio. Okay, so much about installing R and RStudio.